People always ask how I balance my family life with 400 shows a year. I'm just doing what I love with the people I love. It's my magic life.
I like Wes Iseli. I like everything about him.
All right, guys, we are back. And this week we have, we get magicians from all over. Sometimes they reach out to us. Sometimes we reach out to them. I really don't know this guy at all, but I found him on my podcasting group that I run for podcasters all over the world. He reached out to us and said, hey, I'd like to be on the podcast. Nice. I said, let's try it out. Everybody, it's Magic Brad. What's up, buddy? How are you?
I am well. How are you, too?
We're doing great. This is my wife, Natalie. We didn't do the introductions beforehand. Hi. We just started recording. Just a warning, we have a heck of a storm coming through here. Something like a hurricane. Last night, it shook the house with the lightning and thunder. So we don't know what's going to happen. I'm recording on 2, so hopefully our video quality is good. I just want to warn you in case there's snafus. But how are you, sir?
That's the internet. That's just what you got to deal with. You know, if the cat jumps up on the table, no problem. But the weird part is I don't have a cat.
Well, and we are out. We've had that before. Somebody's cat walked across the...
And then we heard someone like, what is that noise? And it was the cat purring next to the...
I don't remember who that was.
I don't remember who it was either. But it was
got a little bunny.
There you go.
There you go. There you go. All right. So, so tell me about yourself. I know nothing about you except that you're in the podcasting community, entrepreneur, magician. That's all I know. So fill me in.
Well, it started when I was about 4 years old. A friend of my brother's came home and he made a quarter disappear, and then he plucked it from behind my ear, and my eyes got all big, and I thought, how does that work? And I was just a kid. It was just kind of amazing to me. And he actually gave me a couple little booklets, and they had pictures in them because I don't know if I could read back then. And it was basic coin magic and basic card technique. And that's what got me started in it. And I kind of dabbled in it all my life. And I tell people I think my brain developed differently than most people. Like as a magician, you sort of see things from behind the scenes, and you spend a bunch of money to take your wife to Cirque du Soleil, and she's watching the acrobatics and I'm watching the riggers hooking up all the cables and stuff, you know?
100%. I'm always watching the stagehands. I'm watching people say you went to a magic show or something. Did you like it? No, it was awful. But I learned a lot. You know, you learn from bad ones too. Yeah.
So I did that through grade school into high school, and I was actually making some money in high school instead of a paper route or, you know, some job at a drugstore or something. I was doing hospitals and churches, not making a lot of money, but enough. And then when I graduated high school in 1975, people said, you should get a job. And I thought, okay. So I did. I got a job with the local county parks and rec department. I graduated in 1975 for reference. And I was working for it was a special program. So when it ended in 4 years, they got to let you go. And I thought, where's my gold watch? I thought I had a job here. So I learned early that jobs are temporary. And I thought, well, I'm just going to do my own deal.
Yeah.
And that's when I decided to be a magician. And local here in Minneapolis, there's a lot of corporate. You know, we got General Mills and Pillsbury and Target and Best Buy and Land O'Lakes and
wow,
3M and Honeywell, Medtronic.
I had no idea.
Yeah, me neither.
So I thought I'm going to focus on corporate events. And so I did that, you know, knocking on doors, making phone calls and stuff. And then as time evolved, I thought, I don't like chasing these people. So in 1991, I created a trade show for event planners. And that way the event planners came to me to come to the trade show to find all the stuff they need, like caterers and balloon decorators and staging and lighting and bleachers and all that stuff they need for their special events. And there was only one magician there by coincidence. It was me.
That is so smart. That is so smart.
No kidding.
This was before the internet and stuff. And they would, you know, you get a little piece of paper and they fill it out, a little registration form. And they'd tell me how much money they had and when they're going to spend it. I had it all set up. So I'm Tammy from 3M Corporation. We have a company picnic August 15th. We got, you know, 3,000 employees and a budget of $15,000. We want a pig roaster and a tent and a bouncy thing for the kids and a magician and a juggler and a face painter. I go, there's my lead.
That's awesome.
And I had
Wow.
a list, and
Wow.
it
Where were
was
you in
interesting.
'96 when I was starting out? That is gold right there.
Right.
It worked really, really good until like 1998 is when it started. The internet was coming along, and I could tell that all of a sudden, hey, if you want to find something, you just go on to, back then it was Netscape and AOL, and you do a search and you can find anything. So I kind of saw that the need for a trade show was fading out, and that all collapsed on me because I brought on a couple of employees, and one of them decided to be an embezzler, and he took a little bit of money from us, and
Mm.
it all fell apart. And I said, I don't want to do this anymore. So I packed up my bags and I went out to LA and helped a martial arts friend of mine with his karate school and some of his martial arts events. I did that for about a year, and then I got a call from Larry Anderson. Do you know that name?
No,
He,
no, blanking.
he helped Mark Wilson with the Mark Wilson Course of Magic,
Okay, okay.
and he used to uh, tour with some of Mark Wilson's stuff. And he said, "Hey, Brad, you want to work on a project?" I thought, why not? So I packed up and drove over to Studio City and got a studio apartment. And it was, do you remember the Jaw Droppers series?
Sure, yeah.
That was him and I. And I was sort of hiding because I was hiding from financial people. So I'm not on any of the documentation of Jaw Droppers. So you have to take my word for it.
Wow,
But
wow.
that was the most fun I've ever had. Paid pretty good, and I had so much fun doing it. I was just behind the scenes throwing him a scissors and Brad, I need a piece of rope. Here's a piece of rope. I'd go finding all the stuff that he needs, and we hit the streets and some bars and like well, I don't think it was Venice Beach. I think it was Oceanside or something like that. And we were doing the taping for all these jaw droppers.
I
It
think
was
I
very
remember
cool.
this now. So it's like a 4 or 5 disc DVD set. I own it. I have it.
Yeah, it was three of them and then two others. There was one on cards, one on coins, and then the three tapes were the first one was um, out of thin air because you can kind of just do anything, you just grab something and do it with it. And the next one was Ready, Set, Go, which took a little bit of preparation. And the other one was called Well Worth It because it took some work and you had to really kind of get your timing down and all that. And it came with a Svengali deck in the cards, and then it came with the quarter and a bottle for the coins. And it went okay, but the challenge with marketing it was a video, so it's sort of a game in Target because Target's based here, so we're trying to get into Target. But it was also a video, it was an instructional video, so they didn't know where to put it.
I published a book that taught magic lessons. Like it came with a DVD. The hero of the book does magic during the DVD during the book. So I
Yeah.
wanted to have a video lesson of me teaching the tricks and elaborate on them for how you can use it in the real world. And the same thing with the publishers. They didn't know how to put it in a bookstore because it had a DVD. Do we put it?
Right.
Yeah, I totally get that. And jaw droppers, I remember using specifically I was teaching a millionaire student of mine, and I was trying to come up with new material to teach him, something that wasn't too over the top difficult, but something I could get stuff from around the house and teach him his next lesson. I
Yeah.
remember combing through those DVDs. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was basically we referenced Mark Wilson's course, and then I think it was Magic for Dummies. I think we looked at that, and then we spent a lot of time going to the castle and just going through the library there, looking for things you can do with paper clips and rubber bands and easy to do stuff. It was a lot. Boy, that was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Wow, wow. That's pretty cool, man. I still see those jaw dropper things on. I go to MAES Magic Convention every year, and you always see a draw dropper DVD or two for sale at the auction. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
They're
the
still around.
the VH1 thing, they still got the VH1s, or not VH1, but VHS, I think
Uh-huh.
that's called. The tapes,
Yeah, yeah. No, the
Yeah, those.
DVDs. I definitely had the DVDs.
It
But
was a fascinating being in that infomercial world and how they do that kind of stuff. They got a thing called a pancake, which is a big 3 foot of tape, blank tape. So when a call comes in from the 800 number at 2 o'clock in the morning and the drunk guy goes, I want to get that tape on the trick and magic and stuff. I want to buy that. And he buys it. And all of a sudden the machine goes to work and starts printing it up, shoots it out to the guy. It was
so
all
then,
real time.
wow.
That's interesting.
So did you sell these like on QVC and things?
Yeah, it was an infomercial. I don't think it was QVC. It was, it might have been. I don't remember
Oh,
That's
which
pretty
company.
awesome.
yeah.
That was the idea. Is the way that works in the industry is you get it popular on QVC, and then the stores want to carry it. You know, like the Suzanne Summers Thigh Buster or whatever it was.
Thigh
Yeah.
Master.
Popular, Thigh Master.
Yeah,
It's popular on there, and then all of a sudden it's in Kmart and Target and all that kind of stuff.
absolutely. So you did that project. How long were you out there? Because it was 5 discs, 5 DVDs.
Well, I was out there for 2 years. I spent 1 year in the Covina Glendora area with the martial arts events, and then that was kind of not going anywhere. And then I had the opportunity to do Jaw Droppers, so I moved over to Burbank and North Hollywood, Studio City area. And then when that was over, I mean, that was probably maybe a 6-month project, something like that.
Okay.
Because it was everything from figuring out what kind of logo we should have and script writing for all the infomercial element of it, and then explaining all the tricks, demonstrating all the tricks. Is
Editing.
Yeah.
So I lost my train of thought. With you being out there and going to the castle and everything, did you ever perform at the castle?
I didn't. It was interesting when I auditioned for it. I probably made a mistake because I said I was inspired by Robin Williams, and he kind of said, that's kind of a big set of shoes to fill, Robin Williams. And then I don't know if you've got it, but I get really nervous performing for magicians. Not so much general public, but for some reason I get shaky when I'm working with magicians. So nope, I never did work the castle. I did some just gigs out there for bar mitzvahs and holiday events and things like that, but never worked the castle. Went there and hung out. It's kind of an interesting story. Another way that I marketed myself, you familiar with Meeting Professionals International?
No.
Okay, and then there's also one that used to be called ISIS, but they changed their name for obvious reasons.
Okay. Yeah.
Now called ILEA, International Special Events Association.
Okay.
And now it's called the International Live Events Association. They had a convention, not a convention, but a association meeting. So I was there showcasing. I did some magic for them because that showcases me in front of the meeting planners and the special event planners. And while I was there, I was sitting at a table with this guy from Arizona. He had a destination management company. And he says, if you're going to be doing magic, you got to be a member of the Magic Castle. And I was out there. This was before the Jaw Droppers thing. I didn't have any money. I was basically homeless, living in a karate school. He says, you got to be a member. And I says, I can't afford it. I really can't afford it. He goes, well, you should be a member. And it was so weird. I went back to my karate school, hanging out there, and I got some mail. I got a letter from this guy with a check in it, mail that made out to the Academy of Magical Arts. He bought my membership.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty
Oh,
nice.
God. That's very
Wow.
sweet.
Wow.
Out of nowhere. It was kind of, there's a sign from God there, just kind of drop. Hey, I got my free membership. It's amazing.
So who did you audition for at the castle? Do you remember who it was?
I don't.
Oh man.
I
All right.
don't
So
know.
at the karate studio, did you get a brown belt, a blue belt, a yellow belt?
I've got a 3rd-degree black belt.
Wow.
The guy that is out there, he'd been calling me saying, hey, Brad, would you come out here and help, we work on this. We can make some money doing all this big stuff. He was trying to create the thing almost kind of like the UFC, except for it was just point contact instead of full contact. And he had this idea to create the World Karate Organization. And I told him, I'm running a business here in Minneapolis. I can't come out there. And then when it all collapsed here, I thought, I'm coming out. So I just packed up my magic tricks and my computers and some clothes and drove out to LA. And
I always wanted to do karate. Karate Kid came out. There was a dojo that opened, and my dad had a video store. So in that shopping center, there was a dojo, and I'd ask my dad, "Hey, can I sign up? Can I sign up?" Sure. When they have the open enrollment and when registration happens, I'll sign you up. So that would shut me up for 3 or 6 months, and then I'd ask him again. Oh, you just missed it. You got to ask me when it's open enrollment time. Dag, I never got to do it. But that would be something that would be cool for like online courses and things to do a karate thing like Jaw Droppers. like teaching it at home. Yes.
You could do something like that, and then blending it back in with the magic. I used to use some magic type techniques. You know how when you look towards an object, people are misdirected towards that object? I
Right.
would utilize that when I'm fighting.
Mm.
You can use a little misdirection with people by persuading them to look in a certain direction and not know what's coming, you know?
Yeah.
Golly, that's so
neat.
cool.
So were you still doing magic though while you were working with the karate?
Yeah, I've been doing the magic stuff always. I mean,
Yeah.
out there, I wasn't doing it heavily. I had some, I wouldn't even call them agencies, but sometimes they have like those costume character places that also book out face painters and all that. And so there was one of those that was next to them. So worked with them and auditioned and did some of those gigs. And they got me on, was it the Gong Show, the new Gong Show? Do you remember
Oh
that?
wow.
Oh, cool.
And talk about stress. That program is not designed for magicians because magicians are building to the climax, right?
Oh,
Well, I
yeah.
was doing like a Don Allen Fez routine thing, and what they had is that this big bar across the top in the studio, and it was all green. And as people started calling in on that 1-900 line to say boo, it starts getting more and more red, because you can't be, funny all the time. You can't be magical all the time. And it's building up. And I see that line chasing. I'm thinking, oh my God, where's my load? I gotta do this final load quick before they boo me and gong me out of here. So that was kind of fun.
Did you make it?
Yeah, just under the bell.
Ah,
I
sweet.
do a Don Allen Fez routine with a big nut. I had a guy make a big nut. It's about 6 inches across and 3 inches deep. It's a big giant aluminum nut. So I got it just under the wire and produced the big nut, slam it on the table.
Wow. I bought my friend a giant nut for the same reason. He tells a story about Don Allen teaching his daughter. His daughter's 50 something now, but teaching his daughter dice stacking on his kitchen floor. So he used to hire Don Allen all the time for company events. I got Ron a giant. I got it like at TJ Maxx or something.
Oh,
So
yeah?
got it in his collection. Just a big
Nice.
nut. It looks weird in your collection, but it makes sense for that routine.
Yeah.
So when you say you're nervous in front of magicians, I'm with you. I used to be there, and I think not that I'm as comfortable in front of magicians as I am in front of laymen, but you just do your gig. You're not trying to fool them. You're trying to just show them what you can do. I think that's the difference. When I was on Fool Us, I was performing for the crowd, and Penn and Teller happened to be there, and I just had to lock it in that way.
Yeah, I think it is a sort of a psychological inner consciousness kind of reason that the nervousness is there. Like I know that they're gonna burn me because they know what a classic poem is.
Right, right. And then they're looking for every move, and they are. That's what magicians do. So it's not for you then. That part's not for you, but watch what I do with it. That's kind of how, I don't know, maybe that helps you or maybe one of the listeners that is nervous in front of magicians or in front of their
Same
local.
thing with like the lecturing kind of thing. I never really got into lecturing. It wasn't really my thing. I went and did a lecture here at the Eagle Magic Store. You ever heard of that one?
I have heard of that on some tape, on some DVD. They used to do like a lecture series there or something. Yeah.
Well, the Eagle Magic Store, it's well over 100 years old. It's supposedly the longest continuous running retail magic store, and it's still here today. He moved the store closer to his house so he didn't have to drive to Minneapolis. But I did a lecture there, but it was more on marketing. I was more interested in marketing, and I thought magicians want to get into it and they want to do gigs. I just thought that. And I asked, there was like about 25 people in the room, and I said, how many people here are doing magic full time or would like to? One person raised his hand. That's it.
Wow.
It's the hobbyists outweigh the professionals definitely 90 to 1, 98 to 1, 99 to 1
Yeah,
I
but
saw
I'm glad there weren't more hands raised just for I want to do it
full
full
time.
time. Not that I am right now, but that would be a goal. I'm surprised
Yeah.
it was only, yeah.
or even part-time. I think some people just don't want to do it as a business kind of thing. They just want to entertain their friends and family and
Yeah,
work their
something
day.
interesting. It's their hobby. Yeah.
So when I teach business in my lecture, I also have to teach magic for the same reason. You have
Right.
to do a little bit of both. Yeah.
Mhm.
But I'll do like a 2-part lecture, business, and then because we do 400 shows a year and people think the phone just rings. I fooled Penn and Teller. I've been in business for 30 years. Have my own television show. Still, I have to let people know who I am. You know, I've been working the same resorts for 25 years, and I walk out on stage and say, how many of you guys have never seen me before? 90% of the audience raise their hand. They've never seen me. I've been here for 25 years, and none of you guys have seen me. Let's go. It's
and some of them have seen you, but they just don't remember.
right, yeah. And that's the other thing, man. That drives me crazy. We had a lady from church say she went to a cruise and they saw a magician. Who? I don't remember. What did he do? A card trick. He did something funny with a rope. And it's like, that doesn't help me at all, people. So,
Yeah.
defend yourself. Let people know who you are. Yeah, you got to get everything out there. So,
You know, that's part of when you're doing the magic thing, you're having fun performing, and then all of a sudden when you realize you have to do some marketing in the business, it takes all the fun out of it. That's why I've sort of semi-retired now. I don't want to chase those guys, those event planners, and it's not easy to find them anymore because this internet thing is noisy out there. It's really hard to get seen, you know, at places. There's so much stuff going on.
not only that, the event planners change,
Yeah.
change underwear, and they're not listed on the website. They're not listed. You can't find them. You can't. Okay, so I'm gonna call 3M and I'm gonna find out who's planning the party. I don't know. You have to talk to HR. You call HR. I don't know. You have to call this department, and they don't know. They don't know who's planning it, but they have a party.
Well, that changed a while back too. I remember they used to have these big company picnics and big holiday celebrations, and now they're not near as big. And instead of having a certified meeting professional coordinating the event, they just say, "Hey, Tammy's in admin. Why don't you take care of it this year?" They go, "Okay, I'll call some people." And they don't really know what they're doing. They might hire a face painter that's using toxic paint, but they don't know.
All right.
Oh,
That-
God.
yeah,
Yeah.
we've been there. We've been there. There was a guy doing an event recently. God bless him, but I don't do balloons anymore. She doesn't let me do balloon animals anymore. I don't mind balloon animals. I have no problem with it. But Natalie,
It's not that I mind balloon animals. It's that he wants to get out of kitty stuff, kitty shows. So I'm like, well, get rid of the balloon animals because that's what's keeping you down. Everybody thinks balloon animals. In the United States, people think magician, oh, it's for the kids anyway. So in order
He's right,
to,
you know.
in order to
she's always right.
get out to kind of be seen more as just a magician and as more family entertainment, and the adults will enjoy it too, get rid of the balloons. So yeah.
But this poor guy was doing an event near us, and I was doing close-up magic, and I was at a table, so people came to me. And I would just see over the crowd every once in a while his balloons, and they were a mangled mess. Like my 13-year-old daughter had made them at 7, like she had made them. And I was like, man, these are horrible. I walked over there and I showed him something cool, told him how to do it, not paying attention, just, hey, can I see your balloon? I want to show you something. And I made him something really cute. And I said, this is how you do it. He gave it away to the next kid, didn't care. Okay. Not until we're getting ready to wrap up and leave did I know that he only had 2 fingers on one hand. He was doing the best he could. I was like, man. I didn't notice. Because when I went to talk to him, he put his hands in his little apron. I had no clue.
Yep.
So, hey, we're going to pause right here for 1 second, all right? I have a guy working on our air conditioner. It's still recording, but I can edit this out.
23.
Our air conditioner in our upstairs went out during a heat wave for 3 weeks. So we were sleeping downstairs on the couch for 3 weeks. And we just got it fixed. And I got out of the shower today and walked down the hallway, and we have a wet spot in our ceiling. The air conditioner is leaking. No. So I called the guy back over.
Always something.
He came over during the podcast. I apologize.
It's all good.
All right, and we're back. Where were we, Magic Brad?
What were we talking about? I don't remember. I'm 68 years old. I don't have that much hard drive space anymore.
All right, so talking about marketing, talking about getting
Booking shows in corporate, and they're always switching up who books it. That's all. That's what you're
Oh
talking
yeah, we were talking about the marketing element of it. Show business is part business, right?
about.
that's you'd say it's the biggest part, but really,
It's the most not fun part.
it's not. I see why people don't want to market and don't want to do the work, because that's the not fun part.
Yeah.
Well, as an example, you mentioned the balloon animals. It does change. Like a quick story, Ziegler is based out of Minneapolis. You know, the tractors,
Okay.
Ziegler. And I was on a train ride with this woman at a meeting event. And I was telling her about this idea that you can use magic for anything. If you wanted, you could levitate one of those big bulldozers. We could produce it on the stage. We can create the illusion of that. And I was explaining all these big grandiose things. And then she said, "Do you do kids' birthday parties?"
Yep.
Because that's where their head goes.
Yep. Every show. No, we could sell out at a theater, standing ovation, and you still have people coming up to you and going, the kids really love that. Oh, okay, great. I hope you had a good time too. Oh, I did. But it's like, God, you can't get out of that mind frame for some reason.
I had Greg Wilson on here, and I told him, I said, I blame your father. I blame Magic Land of Alakazam because it was the clown and the illusions that he did, but nobody, a layperson, you go to the store and just ask them who Mark Wilson or Magic Land, they don't know that, but did that? I don't know.
Is that what started it to be?
I think you could look at it as that thing you did that amazed me. I don't know how that works, and I don't want to admit that I don't know. So I say the kids would really like that.
Yeah.
That, and you get that a lot.
Yeah.
It's funny when you work for engineers or perform for engineers.
Yeah,
They can't enjoy it because they're trying to figure it out, and
exactly.
there's just a barrier there of enjoyment. And it's like, guys, you're doing it all wrong. This is supposed to be fun.
Yeah. Sit back and enjoy.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So talk about marketing and branding and all of that. I go by Wes Iseli because when I was starting out, and I still love Arnold Schwarzenegger, but if people can say his name and remember his name, they can remember Wes Iseli. You went with Magic Brad. When did you do that?
Well, my last name is Goodham. So if I tell it to you, you would spell it Goodum. That's not right. It's spelled Gudim. So if you see it spelled, you say then Goodium. Good. You don't know how to say it if you know how to spell it, and you don't know how to spell it if you know how to say it. So I thought I'm just going to go with Magic Brad, and it separates me from the Brents and the Brandons and the other Bryans and the Brads, and
It works.
Yeah.
I have the domain name, so that's.
And people can remember that. That's easy enough.
But you know what's kind of interesting about that is when people see it, they wonder, they don't necessarily say, "So are you a magician?" They start thinking Magic Johnson, Magic Mike.
Oh.
I didn't think of that.
That's funny.
Wow. You would think
Yeah.
Magic Brad would be magician.
Magic. Yeah. That's where our brains are trained to go to at this point. So
Sometimes people call me, hey, Magic Mike. No, it's Brad. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know how to dance.
Go.
yeah.
That's a totally different show.
But I did it for that reason because I knew the internet is a noisy place and people would get me confused with Bryans and Brents and all that other stuff. So that's kind of why I created the Magic Brad brand because I've got domains with that.
Is there a huge population of magicians out where you are?
There's surprisingly more than we know. I'm in the Twin Cities, so we've got the IBM Ring 19 and the SAM Assembly 12. And there are more. Someone once calculated there's probably 300 or 400 of just people interested in magic in Minnesota.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
And they come and they go too, all of a sudden they pop back out. Yeah, I got back into it again. Oh, I'm getting out of it again.
Right.
I don't understand how that happens. That when that bug bit me, it sunk its teeth in, and I think it left a talon or something. It left something behind. I can't find the entry wound to remove it, and I don't want to. Yeah, I don't understand.
I think part of it is if they get into the business end of it, they end up just getting burnt out because it's, all of a sudden I got this gig booked and it's 102 degrees and I got to carry that little cart through the park to try and find this company picnic. It's at the Sunfish lot. And then you find out it's the wrong one. It's not the Sunfish lot. It's the Sunset lot. You got to wheel that cart. So that might be that makes people not want to do it.
Been there.
Yeah.
They don't show that on TV, and there's TV magic specials. They show none of that. That's that's why we started our little television show, because people, what's it like doing 400 shows a year? Well, this is what it's like. Watch this. And it's a lot of windshield time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of loading and unloading, and very few are nice days. I can't say very few.
Perfect.
Yeah, but
20%.
There's nothing like, yeah,
Rain.
you're always running into some sort of snafu of, even if it's a small one, of, well, I mean, like one show, we have a RV with a trailer because we bring our family on the road. So RV for the family, trailer with the magic show. And we always make sure that there's parking, but somehow communication between this person that was planning and that person that was doing this and this person that was doing that, when we showed up with our RV and trailer, they go, "Where are you going to park it?" And we're going, "You told us we could." So
here's the
just
email
different
response.
things.
Here's
Yeah.
the email.
Just different things like that you figure it out. But
there's also the financial end of things, because most people, if they've never bought entertainment before, they're thinking like, dollar per hour. I get paid $20 an hour. They're going to do walking around. That's going to be up $40, right? They're going to walk around for 2 hours, $40, right?
No.
So you tell them 750, they go, what?
right.
Yeah, people don't get it. But you know what? Enough do. That's
Yeah.
On the other side, there are people that's what they want, and they have those big budgets, and you just pay for it because it's in the budget. That's what our entertainment budget is. That's what they expect. They've hired keynote speakers before, and they know that they're 15, 20 grand.
Right.
Ready for it.
That's what we need more of.
Yeah.
What's your budget? 20
Yeah.
grand. We can do something for you.
Perfect.
I think we can do something
what we
for you.
need. Yeah.
Well, there's the trade show industry, the Don Allen kind of thing, and Danny Orleans is doing that. And my best friend that I grew up with, David Stahl, he was doing trade shows, and he worked with Joel Bauer on a lot of that kind of stuff. In that world, they understand the money because they're shipping stuff to the trade show. They're flying people there. They're getting hotels for people for like 5 days. So they know it's huge budget, huge money. And if they sell one supercomputer, got their 5 grand back,
Yeah. Easy for them.
Yeah.
That's just a whole nother venue, another avenue.
Yeah.
Where you plant, did you ever do any trade show work?
I did, but it was just local stuff. Just
Okay.
local stuff. Yeah.
Because there's a magician that's from here. He just recently passed, Lee Knight. He was in Rochester, Minnesota. He created the Exhibitor Show, the Exhibitor magazine, and then he created the Exhibitor Show in Las Vegas. It was a huge trade show for trade shows. So if you're looking to do trade show magic, you go to that convention because it's all businesses that do trade shows.
Wow.
And
Wow.
you're seeing the fertile garden,
Yeah. Well, I had a contract with Pepsi for 5 years, and they took me to all of their events, and it was amazing. It was fun. I'm just doing magic. I'm not really. You don't have to sell Pepsi, so I'm just doing magic. I did a little bit with logos on cards, but not much, not a whole bunch, and
But you got the traffic going so that even more people,
came through their booth. Yeah,
Right, yeah.
I loved it. So
Yeah, different places have different reasons. The exhibitors, they have different agendas, objectives. What's the ROI?
yeah.
Sometimes like with Pepsi, they just want logo recognition and say, hey, we're still here. And that other one, with the red logo, we don't know who that is.
Well, and we had Paul Gertner on the podcast, and he was talking about, it used to be that they were collecting business cards. Now they want to scan the pens. Now they want to scan your tags, and you have different reasons to get people in the booth. I need you to close that deal, get that person in that booth to talk to those people, and other ones just want to scan your badge. So
Yeah.
you just got to figure that out.
Yeah.
So
my friend Dave, what he did, he was at a job with some big kind of computer type tech thing, expensive, $1 million units. And this company's sales team was on commission. That's how they got paid, because it's pretty big commission on a multi-million-dollar computer system. And my friend Dave was charging a pretty significant amount to work the trade show. And the guy said that's just too much. We can't really afford that. And Dave said, well, how about if I work on commission? Okay, let's do that. He ended up selling a couple of them on the show floor, and they started calculating the numbers and thought, We're paying way too much by paying commission. We should go back to what we were going to do per day.
Wow. So, talking about you and reading your bio and everything, the way you got started in magic was selling quarter ticket magic shows in your garage.
Oh, sure. I've sort of always been entrepreneurial. I remember we used to do a little store on the curb and sell mom's knickknacks that she didn't want to the neighbors and stuff. But then we started producing magic shows, and my friend Dave, he had one of those Super 8 movie projectors. So we would do movies and we'd sell popcorn and Kool-Aid. So we were kind of producing magic shows in movie theaters. And then locally here, there's a guy by the name of Casey Jones. He was a kid show, Casey Jones show. And I was watching that once as a kid, and they were giving away these muscular dystrophy fundraiser kits. So I got one of those kits and did a muscular dystrophy carnival. And then I had my dad hook up wagons and the lawnmower, driving the lawnmower, little train rides. So I'd charge the kids a quarter to ride the train, and then again selling them Kool-Aid and stuff. So I've kind of always been entrepreneurial. And now I'm trying to do that again, do some events where you get some people to pay admission.
Is that what you're doing? Are you doing theaters and selling tickets now?
Do you know Claude Haggerty?
No.
Yeah, he works with Dean Hankey. You know that name? Dean Hankey, I think he's out of Reno. Dino from Reno.
No.
Well, Claude has a program on how to get sponsorship. So the basic format for it is you work with a nonprofit that wants to raise funds, and then you don't charge them anything for the show, and they get to keep 100% of the tickets sold. So we all work collaboratively to put butts in seats, and the nonprofit gets that money. And then we go outside and find sponsors, like a local pizza shop or maybe a real estate agent that wants exposure, and we print their name on the tickets. So then I get my money from those sponsorships, whether it be a car dealer or a pizza place or a real estate agent or a financial planner, whatever they want. You put together a custom sponsorship package. And that way the nonprofit, they're not having to pay for it because we don't have very much money. We're a nonprofit. You always get that stuff.
Right.
Get their money from butts and seats. And then I'm getting my money from the sponsorships that I sell using the audience.
That's awesome. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Claude's got a really neat program. I signed up for it for a year, and I'm learning from him I knew a lot of this stuff too, but just the different concept. Like he had, the sponsorship thing, they got the bronze and the silver and the gold, and then the bullets. And then the person looks at it and goes, we want the silver program, but we'd like to have that thing that's in the gold program. Well, that's not in there. And you get all confused and you think, we just don't want to do it. It's too confusing. What Claude does is he's got the 3 tiers, and then there's he calls it a value stock. So a stock room of values, so that if you got the gold, you get to pick 5. If you've got the silver, you can pick 3. If you've got the platinum, you can pick 10. And that way you get a sort of a la carte selection of the things that the sponsor wants. And that was a big light for me there. I never thought about it from that point of view, where they can kind of just check off what they want, as opposed to forcing them to get a package.
Right.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
I like it. We were talking about lectures and marketing lectures. The bad thing about magic, and probably any industry, is there are people that try to sell packages like that don't do magic shows. And they have all these, give me $1,000 and I'll tell you how to make $1 million in the coming year.
That kind of stuff. Yeah.
They don't know. They don't know anything about you. They don't know what kind of entertainer you are. You might only have a magic coloring book, and they're going to make you have $1 million next year. You're going to have a lot of upset people, and a lot of people turned off on magic is what you got. If it's successful, a lot of people turned off on magic.
Well, that was a thing I got into after I decided when my business collapsed in I take that back. It collapsed in 1998, but I did start another company in 2004 and ran it till 2012. And then I had a minor stroke because it was very stressful. And I said, I don't want to do this event stuff anymore. So I started learning about digital marketing. And there's a whole bunch of those people that are teaching people about how to make money on the internet. And they're exactly what you're talking about. Scammers that are trying to teach you how to get a Lamborghini and fly all over the world and make millions of dollars. And they're just marketers teaching other marketers how to sell marketing to other marketers so they can sell marketing to other marketers. And they can't sell a pizza.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I see it every day. I
Yep.
see it every day. That, and you're in the podcasting world, I guess, being in the podcasting group. People want to, can I sponsor your show? Can I promote your show? Give me $50. I can get more listeners for you. I can get more views on your YouTube channel and all that paid stuff. And it's like, stop. I must get 100 a day.
Yeah.
It's awful.
I just tell them I have an affiliate program and it's based on results. And you can have, here's your unique tracking link, go to work.
Yeah. There you go. Does anybody go for that? Anybody?
No, because they know the reality is it's not that freaking easy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes they look at, I got 1,000 followers. I don't care. They might not even have credit cards. They're probably half of them are bots. So show me the money. Show me the money.
90% of them are bots. That's the world we're living in nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can create your own bot in a half hour.
I went to a YouTuber podcast meetup thing here in Minneapolis, and a lady came in there and she was all proud. She had her ring light and her phone, and let's do a collab. And I'm getting all these millions of views. And then when the check came, because she ordered a glass of wine, when the check came, she gave him her card, and her card was declined.
Oh no.
So you're not making that much money, are you, girly?
Yeah, it's yeah. There's it's everywhere.
Pay the bill.
So how was the overall convention though? Did you learn some stuff? Did you like it?
Which convention?
The YouTube podcast convention.
No, this was just a small meetup. It wasn't even a convention.
Oh,
I
okay.
would like to go to the affiliate convention.
Yeah.
Affiliate East and Affiliate West. I haven't done that, but I would like to go to that because I believe there are people out there using the affiliate model to make some good money. In fact, there was a guy in California that was an illusion builder that had an affiliate program. So I'd be able to promote his illusions and then get commissions from the sales for it.
Oh.
But he doesn't have the program anymore. I can't even remember who the guy was.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah, no
great.
kidding.
Well, I can throw some names at you and see if they want to do affiliate program. That's pretty cool. I just promote my friends. I just put my friends on. I don't get I put my friends on the podcast, and if somebody comes out with a new trick, I'm saying, hey, I'll put it on my social media and put it everywhere. I got that one Facebook group with 49,000 members. I'll just promote your product there for free. You don't owe me anything, but affiliate marketing sounds good.
Yeah, maybe you should change that.
Well, this is sort of off topic from the magic world, but you could find a way of supplementing your magic income by, say, you just did a little side thing of, this is the microphone that I use. It's a wireless, it's a Countryman, and this is the sound system I use, and here's the cords that I use, and this is the lighting system that I use, the DJ equipment that I use. And as you're doing your shows, it might be a little QR code and people scan it and go, oh my God, that's a really good Countryman microphone. I know it's $1,300, but I think I'll get it. And then all of a sudden you get a check for $100.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So how long you been doing it? The affiliate marketing?
Basically in 2012 when I had that minor stroke. I could say even going back to 2005 when I started dabbling with that stuff.
Okay. Wow.
I was making good money with it, and then things change with the internet. All of a sudden, some platform might say, we don't allow affiliate links. So if you got that little question mark AFF on there, we don't allow those. So now I got to figure out a way, how can I get around that? Maybe I'll get a domain, bounce it over to a landing page, then have the landing page, go to the thing. Like I'm doing physical stuff right now, these physical little things, and it's got a QR code on it. That QR code goes to a landing page that goes to that has a place for the affiliate link. So now this isn't internet based anymore.
Wow. That is so, I can't wrap my head around it.
No, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what you're doing. That's awesome.
Well, I've been gifted with that, and I'll give props to Magic for that, is getting creative. How do you make this card disappear when their eyes are on the card box? How can I get this to happen? Maybe if I used a silk scarf or something and draped it over, I could maybe make that. So my brain works that way. And again, as a young kid, that's how my brain developed. How can I make this thing work?
Mm-hmm.
What was the job that you had that was super stressful that caused you to have a stroke?
Well, I had started a exposition management business. We were producing home improvement expos. And I started this business. This is when I came back from California and I was kind of like wounded from being an entrepreneur. I didn't want to do business anymore. I was just going to play on the internet and look at girls and drink coffee at down uptown. But this guy started calling me saying, we should do trade shows together. And he finally talked me into it. So we started this company. So what happened with that business was he wanted a job, I wanted a company. And it's two different things. I wanted my free time. He wanted to be on site.
Hmm.
It just got stressful and he was doing some things because he's just doesn't ask. He just does stuff and it just gets frustrating. And then I started looking at the numbers with these shows that we were doing, and there was like $100,000 worth of unsold booth space. I thought there's 100 grand we just lost. And I started calculating this over the years, and after about 5 years, it was $500,000 worth of unsold space because he kept on adding more events, which just makes more work, not necessarily more sales, because he was keeping everything internal, and you can only make so many calls in a day. So it got stressful, and I came home from a networking event with a handful of business cards, and I was looking out the window, and it felt like someone did this to me, and I turned around and no one was there. I look on the ground, the cards are on the ground. I thought, what the heck? So I run upstairs and I go, Monica, something weird just happened. She goes, you're scaring me. Why are you talking funny? And I guess I was funny like this, and I had my hand all weird. She thought I was going to do a magic trick. And that was about a 3-minute episode. So I went and had my head scanned, and the lady said, you just had a transient ischemic attack. I go, what? It's called a TIA. Huh?
Uh,
It's a mini stroke. Huh? Me? What?
yeah.
So I walked into my office and I said to my business partner, I said, Rick, I resign. He goes, what? I said, I'm not going to die in this office. I quit. So I sold my shares and worked with him for a couple more months to close things down. And we moved to Asheville, North Carolina, and I chilled out for a couple of years playing digital marketing stuff.
Wow. What a yeah, in your promo it said that you're a marketer and entrepreneur and yeah. Wow. That's
I'm
great.
a, I'm a Gemini, I was born in June 19th. So I got these two little sides of my brain. Part is the artistic part, and the other part's the logical, strategic part. And it seems to work. My wife sees my eyes bouncing back and forth sometimes. She goes, what are you thinking about? So there's something, it's like, I don't know, maybe I'm a droid or something. I don't even know it.
So are you still in North Carolina?
Nope, back in Fridley, Minnesota. It's a suburb just north of Minneapolis. Interesting, I grew up here. I lived in the same house for 53 years. Then we got married and moved to a suburb, and then the TIA thing happened and moved to Asheville. And we came back to another suburb, and then we said, let's get a house. And we drove all over the metro area here. And it turns out we're back about a mile away from where I grew up. My brother still lives in that house, and back in Friendly Fridley, it's called.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's neat. That's neat how that happens.
I like
So,
it here.
so back to magic. Who were your influences growing up? Start
Diane,
Di Vernon. Okay.
Al Schneider, he's a local here in Minneapolis. So I took a class from him, and I really admired the concept of natural movement when you're doing things rather than tricky stuff like they're doing now with the fingers and all that stuff. If it's a natural movement. So Al Schneider for sure. And then Al Goshman blew my mind when he came here. Have you seen him do his stuff?
I know all about Al Goshman, but I think he was gone when I was coming up. When I'm coming up, here's this blows my friends away, especially my friend Chesaday that is probably watching this episode. I found out about Doug Henning when news came out that he had died.
Oh,
I didn't know
wow.
who Doug Henning was until he died. I was working at a magic shop, and they're like, "Can you believe it? Who is this guy?" And then I start finding out about it.
The guy with the rainbow shirts and the teeth.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the '90s. I mean, AOL. It was you're trying to watch a magic video, and it took 12 minutes to download to watch a 45-second clip.
Well, Goshman was a big influence because I saw him do his salt shaker thing, and how he's just so good at getting the misdirection where he just sits back and goes, say please. And she lifts up the salt shaker and there's the coin, the 50-cent piece. And he's like way away from it. And all of a sudden that coin is there. You just lifted up, it wasn't there, and now it's there. And watching him do that, and then he does this thing with a 3-inch coin, and then he does a 5-inch coin that's about a ½ inch thick underneath the salt shaker. It's like, where did that come from? He's 3 feet away from it. How did that get there? Then he picks up that coin and he goes like this, and it's gone. And he goes, you know how that works? Magicians, it goes up their sleeve. He goes like this, shakes his sleeve, and he pulls the thing out of his sleeve. This big giant coin, he's got to tug it out of his sleeve. And I saw that. I thought, that's not possible. You can't do that. And then you find out how it works because you follow him around at the lecture, you know? Oh my God, that's so creative. Another one was Sylvester the Jester. He used to do that thing with I forgot what he called it, but it was like ground eye something where he's kind of juggling, producing these coins, and then he produces that nut. And if you focus on the coin, you cannot see the nut. But if you focus on the nut, you see that big nut fly right through the air. It's obvious as hell.
Wow.
Timing is so good. So those are the people that kind of blew my mind.
Yeah, Sylvester, he was in a world of his own, man. I mean, he just created something that, I'd say like a Dan Sperry. Everybody would say that's just so out there. That's not, what are you doing? And then it's just, you are magic. That is awesome. You're the best,
Yeah, Dan Sperry was from here, you know.
Well, and I'm trying to think, Nick DeFont also.
Yep, Nick DeFont.
Yeah.
And do you know Joel Hodgson, Mystery Science Theater?
Sure. Yeah.
He was from here, and he's a creative genius. Some of the stuff he was doing, it's not necessarily magic related, but the stuff that he would do is just amazing.
Well, Joel was a magician as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he was on the cover of a Magic magazine at one point. Yeah.
Right.
Wow. So what do you got going on in the future? You're getting these theater shows together, and you're going to get sponsorships. You're making those phone calls and getting the sponsors and doing free shows.
Well, I don't like making phone calls, so I will be setting it up. Like I'll create some kind of a function where I'll invite people how to sponsor, how to use use sponsorships to make your business grow. I might do some stuff like that and do a show about that, and that way they come to me, and that builds my database up, and then I can explain it to them as opposed to chasing. I don't like chasing people. So that format is basically like I mentioned the nonprofits. You're strumming the heartstrings and helping them raise funds, and then tying it in with the sponsorship, so that somebody's got to pay for the performance, and then the magic, because magic is a universal art. You know, you can literally do anything with magic, or at least make it look like anything happened.
So, do you do back of the room sales as well? I love theater shows. She does all the back of the room sales.
I don't, but I will be doing something like that. I'll probably be doing some more swag type thing. I don't know that I'll be selling any magic kits or anything like that. But I might do some t-shirts or something, or have somebody sponsor it and get creative with the, t-shirt with a QR code on it, and it could be a revenue producing t-shirt.
Wow. Wow. I love your thinking. Keep going. I love these ideas.
I just shared one with a friend of mine. I just had a meeting prior to this, and this isn't even magic related, but it's business related. There's a platform called If This Then That. You ever heard of it?
I have. And wait, let me ask, because what I think it is, it was a place where if Kevin Spencer used it years ago, that if he wanted to post on Facebook, or he would just put the post there and it would choose either put it on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's kind of like Zapier, only much simpler.
Okay.
You've got two platforms, and If This Then That is in the middle. So you could pick, like, when I post something on Facebook, then put it on a tweet, do a tweet with it. Well, I've got it set up with the Weather Underground. And the reason I'm doing that is because weather is unpredictable. Sometimes it's sunny, sometimes it's cloudy. So this is set up so that when the sun is out in Minneapolis, then post this on LinkedIn. And then when all of a sudden it's cloudy out, post it on LinkedIn again. And then what I'm posting on there on LinkedIn is a calendar of business events. So as the thing is posted, it's always something new and fresh. It's not the same link that gets old because it's got the new, the old events are done. The new ones are coming. So it's working automatically when the clouds come and cover the sun and when the clouds go away. If it rains, if it gets sunny, it does it by itself, posting these events that are coming up.
I've never played with this. What is it? This.
Like this, then that, something like that.
So,
IFTTT.
does it cost money to do it?
It can, but I'm only using 2 of them, so that's the free version.
Okay.
I think they call them applets.
Very cool. Very cool.
But you can hook it up to anything. You can hook it up. So if I do this podcast and put it up to YouTube, then send out a email to my list. It probably integrates with like MailChimp or something like that.
Sure. Wow.
And that's why I have a lot of free time.
I'm posting everywhere. I'm posting reels. I'm posting videos. It's hours every day in the office of social media stuff every day. Yeah.
It can be time intensive.
Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to think. Maybe that is something I need to do. My publicist kept telling me to cancel Facebook pages because I have some that, have 500 followers. Others are topped out at 5,000. Just keep the entertainer one. You don't have a top out. But I know those people aren't going to transfer over. So I'm going to lose those 500 and those 300. And they're not bots. They're curated. I know those people. I know. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Too many accounts.
And there's probably a way that you can just set it up and hook it up to do like a StreamYard or something on your phone or something. So when you drive into the beach, you can sit and chat to them while you're doing something else, or go out to dinner and see what we're eating, and they can see it from there.
Oh,
like, the platform Patreon, right? What the hell was her name?
We're on it.
I can't remember.
Patreon.com/Wes_Iseli.
I can't remember this woman's name, but she was a busker on the street playing music. You open up your guitar case and people throw money in your guitar case. And she wasn't making money. She was just trying to make it work. And she heard of this thing called Patreon. So she joined Patreon, put together some different levels, and then she hooked up a little camera while she's sitting on the streets, put her phone on there. Now she plays. Now she's got a global audience.
Wow.
And now she's a multimillionaire. And then when all of a sudden she heads over to Denver to play at some coffee shop, there's 200 people there to see her.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be done, Remember the UFC fights and stuff when the COVID thing happened? They created Fight Island. So you couldn't have any audience, but you still could hook up cameras and live stream it and do pay-per-view. So they now had a global audience instead of a auditorium audience.
So with your martial arts background, do you keep up with MMA?
I like to watch it, and I don't care who's winning. I just like to watch the strategy and stuff behind it. So I'm not a fan of anybody. Conor McGregor, who gives a shit,
Yeah, I don't know anything. I watch some highlights every once in a while, not even monthly. It's every once in a while.
What I like about it is they know what they're getting into. Whereas if you're playing hockey and you get a stick on the back of your head, that's not what you signed up for.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel bad. You see those clips, and these are the clips I see, the highlight reels, the crazy knockouts, or the girl getting interviewed at the end, and she's so thankful she won. She's so happy. Couldn't be happier. But her face is all puffed up to here, and her eyes out to here, and it's like, you won? Wow. Yeah.
That's what's interesting about it is really that's what you want to do for a living? I'd rather do a ambitious card.
I know I would. I can't. Yeah. I have 4-year-olds that punch me and kick me, and and it's like,
you're play fighting with them too, though.
There's a thing, full contact card tricks.
no, thank you. Not in any way. I can't handle my 4-year-olds.
He's gonna let you keep that idea.
My little boy, I was tickle fighting the other night, but he had a handful of dinosaurs, like one between each finger, and he just came across my head and just tried to push me away. And I walk in the other room, I'm like, hey, honey, am I messed up? Because it's burning. She said, you have the littlest scratch, honey.
Yeah,
That's it. Just the littlest thing. I'm a wimp. I can't handle it.
No, I don't fight anymore. I only did one full contact fight when I was fighting. Everything else was points. You can still get hurt with points, but I don't like getting hit.
No, no, I saw Karate Kid. You can get hurt. So, so you did competitions?
Yeah, I was more of a second placer though.
Okay, all right.
I think I am with Magic too. I have no desire to be on Fool Us or be on America's Got Talent or be a David Copperfield or anything like that. I'm just, I'm just good with doing my little case and bringing it to a company picnic. That's
I,
fine.
I I had a whole conversation with my publicist, and I said, I've made it. I'm happy. I'm not multimillionaire or anything like that, but boy, all I wanted to do when I was a little boy was do magic, and I've been able to do it. I've made friends in the magic community. People know my name. It's pretty awesome. I'm very happy. Yeah.
It is. It's a very interesting. Um, it's like juggling. When people juggle, you see what they're doing. When they're playing music, you see them strumming the guitar. When a magician puts a coin in his hand, that's not what you saw at all. Magic is totally different than the other arts, acrobatics or even ventriloquism.
Yeah.
And it's more so like mentalism where it's happening in your head. There's no magic happening. It's all words.
But it's all entertainment. We're just trying to entertain you. I'm not really a mind reader. Come on. But let me show you what I can do. And really, I'm just, it's just a trick. I put mentalism in my show, emulating Copperfield. I'm not a mentalist, but I'm doing mentalism, but it's a trick. That's how I think about it.
Yeah, you're not being Kreskin or Uri Geller trying to trick people.
I've never wanted to introduce it that way, although I'm doing more and more mentalism over the years. I've never tried to do anything like that. Yeah.
What just came to my mind is, doing magic so much, it's hard to appreciate being fooled. But when I was out in LA, or even before I went out there, my friend was out there and I visited him in Venice Beach. You ever gone to Venice Beach?
No, but my publicist has showed me some videos out there of all the homeless people. I don't know if I want to visit anymore.
It's kind of a crazy place. And back then in like the 80s and 90s, and it was there's a lot of belly dancers and incense and you know tarot readers, and it's kind of weird stuff going on out there. And it was my new time out there. It's kind of scary seeing all these gangsters walking around and creepy people. And I'm walking with my buddy, and this is how I can see how people believe in magic. I'm walking with him. We're talking. We're right by each other. 20 feet away from any buildings or anything. Walking down the boardwalk, and I'm looking at this and talking with him, and I'm looking at this, and I turn back, and he's gone. Where'd he go? It blew my mind. I thought, what the hell? So I just stopped. I said, people just don't disappear. And then all of a sudden he came walking out of this shirt place. But he didn't try and trick me. He didn't try and ditch me. The timing was just perfect.
Yeah.
It just seemed like a split second that I was just talking to him. All of a sudden he's gone. And I thought he disappeared.
Wow.
So I really believed for a second there that, oh, man, this is surreal. Because you hear all these these bells and stuff going on with the gypsies and see the incense and all that stuff. And it's like, my friend just disappeared.
Well, dude, we've done an hour already. Was that
Really?
quick? Yeah. So where can people find you?
You just Google Magic Brad and you'll find the good, the bad, and the ugly.
There you go. Magic Brad's easy enough. That's how I found you. You put that on the thing. Just Google Magic Brad. It came up. It came up.
Yeah, I have 50 domain names because they're so cheap and they're just redirected to different landing pages and platforms and integrated with. I got my own little internet.
Wow.
Wow. That's pretty awesome. Well, dude, thank you so much for being on. It was nice meeting you. I love the stories. We'll have to do it again sometime. This was awesome.
Where are you guys located?
In Virginia.
Virginia. West Virginia? John Denver used to sing about West Virginia.
No, Virginia, Virginia.
Okay.
We're 100 miles from D.C.
Okay, I think I've been through there on the way up from Asheville to New York. It's possible I went through there.
Mm-hmm.
Very possible. 95.
Yep.
Check my file. Maybe I got a speeding ticket.
That probably out here is pretty crazy. Thank you for being on, man. I appreciate it. I think that's it. Magic Brad. Just Google Magic Brad. You'll find him.
Okay.
Guys, Thank you, thank you, thank you. Only thing we have left to say is see you next week.
Check us out online at wesisley.com and patreon.com/Wes_Isley for behind-the-scenes videos, blooper videos, never-before-seen footage, discounts on merchandise, magic trick tutorials, and more. That's Wes Iseli, spelled Wesiseli.